Indeed, India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Sanae Takaichi makes history as Japan's first woman Prime Minister, winning Japan's parliamentary vote. Prime Minister Modi congratulates Takaichi, hoping to further strengthen India-Japan special strategic and global partnership. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh pays tribute to bravehearts on Police Commemoration Day, says red corridors are now transforming into growth corridors with tireless efforts of security personnel. President Trump warns Hamas that it will be eradicated if it breaches Gaza deal with Israel. Vice President J.D. Vance heads to Israel to talk to Netanyahu as body of one of the hostages handed over as part of US brokered ceasefire. In a historic milestone for Japanese politics, hardline conservative Sanae Takaichi has been formally nominated as Japan's first female prime minister on Tuesday after securing victories in parliamentary votes. The 64-year-old Liberal Democratic Party leader and acolyte of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and admirer of Margaret Thatcher, she garnered 237 votes in the 465-seat lower house, exceeding the majority threshold. In the upper house runoff against opposition leader Yoshihiko Noda, she won 125 votes. This follows the Liberal Democratic Party's coalition with the right-wing Japan Innovation Party, succeeding Shigeru Ishiba, and that is amidst the election setbacks. Takaichi pledges economic reforms, stronger US ties, and increased women's cabinet roles without quotas. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Sanae Takaichi on her election as Prime Minister of Japan. In a social media post on X, Prime Minister Modi looked forward to working closely with her to further strengthen the India-Japan special strategic and global partnership. Prime Minister said that our deepening ties are vital for peace, stability and prosperity across the Indo-Pacific and beyond. All right, Akshay Dongre joins us to get us more. Akshay, good afternoon. Help us understand more. What does it mean for Japan? Sanae Takaichi becomes the Prime Minister. Now, this was her third attempt at becoming Japan's leader. What does it mean for the Japanese economy?
Well, there are multiple fallouts as far as, or multiple things that will change in the Japanese society as far as the election of Sanae Takaichi is concerned. First of all, the conservative country is quite traditional when it comes to women's role in active politics. This is the first time a women prime minister has taken over that prestigious seat, and while she is from the Liberal Democratic Party, she is part of the hardline conservative faction of the very same party. It is a big message towards changes that are taking place in the Japanese society that have seen traditionally rules of housewives and other traditional rules for women, but now that is gradually changing as well. Many female voters were questioned about the election of Sanae Takaichi as the Prime Minister, and while many are optimistic about the changing society in the country, some also are apprehensive about her own personal role in bringing about that change, because Sanae Takaichi has battled for conservative traditional rules as far as the society is concerned. But irrespective of that, as far as the economy is concerned, the economical aspect of her election is concerned, it is quite positive. In fact, the stock market in Japan has shown signs of recovery, of support to the election of Sanae Takaichi, especially because in the last 5 years there have been multiple prime ministers that have come and go. In fact, in the last 2 decades, there have been 10 prime ministers in Japan. Now, most of them coming in from the Liberal Democratic Party. There were signs that the country is moving toward a one-party election system as well. On the other hand, as far as the tension between Japan and US are concerned, Sanae Takaichi has been a big proponent of relations and ties with the US government, trade with the US, and even Donald Trump has called her a wise lady, a perfect perfect choice for the Prime Minister's position, and Sanae Takaichi has also hinted that she would like to reinstate and strengthen the ties with the US government as far as trade is concerned. So it's all in all a good news for the Japanese society, especially the shaky political landscape that we have been witnessing in the last 5 years, where more than 4 prime ministers have come and go as far as the political landscape of the country is concerned.
All right, Akshay, also enlist for us what challenges domestically and internationally she will face after assuming prime ministership of Japan.
Now, talking about the Liberal Democratic Party, which is the largest one, Preeti, to our viewers, we have to understand that it's not winning the post of Prime Minister in the Liberal Democratic Party, the LDP, but also the struggle also is there after the Prime Minister takes over and the cabinet is formed. There are internal factions, several internal factions within the LDP that have tried to push their leaders, try to create trouble for the existing leaders, and that perhaps is the reason why the political landscape remains so fragile in the country. As far as the international challenges are concerned, then trade is one of them. Then obviously climate is one issue that Japan faces. As far as the dwindling population is concerned, that remains a challenge. Immigration is one of the issues that will see major changes as far as the policies of this conservative faction led by Sanae Takaichi is concerned, and we'll have to see that what all happens in the future. But there are significant challenges that remain. However, the simple majority in the upper and the lower house for Sanae Takaichi means that there will be some steadiness, some stability to her government for the foreseeable future.
All right, a new Prime Minister in Japan, what does that mean for India? Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed optimism that the relationship between India and Japan will further strengthen.
Well, that goes without doubt. Prime Minister Modi talking about is absolutely right, because we have seen from Shinzo Abe to Shigeru Ishiba to Fumio Kishida, all the prime ministers that have come in Japan have held quite good relation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In fact, the kind of personal rapport that is there between the two countries is also exceptional. In fact, Japan is one of the closest ally of India in the eastern part of the world, and Japan sees India as one of the closest ally in the western part of the world. Both the countries are part of Quad. Both the countries have a similar kind of challenges coming in from China and other countries in the South China Sea, in the Indo-Pacific region, in the strengthening of Quad. So it's going to be a great news. And Prime Minister, who himself has been a big proponent of Nari Shakti, women empowerment, sees this change in the political landscape as quite a positive one for the ties between the two countries.
All right, just out of curiosity, Akshay, why has Japan seen such swift changes when we talk of prime minister? 10 prime ministers in a decade, and 5 of them just recently. What is it that Japan has been changing its prime minister so often, and how promising does Takaichi and her tenure look from here?
Well, the thing that I was mentioning earlier, Preeti, that there are internal factions within the Liberal Democratic Party, and those factions have pitted their own candidates against each other, have created problems for the other candidates from different factions. So it's internal politics that is also causing this sort of crisis that has erupted. The party has grown too big. The Liberal Democratic Party has been there in power for far too long, and that is why the internal factions and internal fightings are the reason why the political landscape is so shaky.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details. So that was our correspondent, Akshay, spelling out more details and helping us understand the political developments in Japan better. Let's focus to other updates. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh laid a wreath at the National Police Memorial in New Delhi on Tuesday to honour fallen police personnel on Police Commemoration Day. The day marks the sacrifice of 10 policemen killed in an ambush by Chinese troops at Hot Springs in Ladakh on October 21st, 1959. Rajnath Singh paid tribute at Wall of Valor. A joint parade of Central Armed Police Forces and Delhi Police also takes place on this day. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addressed in New Delhi, lauding the forces, saying the army and police may operate on different stages, but their mission is one and the same: to protect the nation.
हो या पुलिस, ये दोनों ही देश की सुरक्षा को के अलग अलग पिलर्स हैं। इसलिए मेरा यह मानना है कि दुश्मन कोई भी हो, चाहे सीमा पार से आए या हमारे बीच छिपा हो, जो भी व्यक्ति भारत की सुरक्षा के लिए खड़ा है वह एक ही आत्मा का प्रतिनिधि है। सेना और पुलिस में बस मंच अलग हैं, लेकिन इनका मिशन एक ही है, राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा।
Further, Rajnath Singh, lauding the transformation of former Naxalite-affected areas into thriving education and growth hubs, highlighted that regions once plagued by Naxalite terror now feature roads, hospitals, schools and colleges, crediting the police and security forces for their pivotal role.
एक लंबे समय तक नक्सलवाद हमारी आंतरिक सुरक्षा के लिए समस्या रहा है और हमारी पुलिस, सीआरपीएफ, बीएसएफ, सारी पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस और स्थानीय प्रशासन ने मिलकर जिस तरह संगठित तरीके से काम किया वह काबिले तारीफ है। साथियों, पिछले कई वर्षों के हमारे सम्मिलित प्रयास अब फलीभूत हो रहे हैं। पूरे देश को अब यह भरोसा हो गया है कि अगले वर्ष तक इस समस्या का नामो निशान नहीं रहेगा। भारत के जो क्षेत्र रेड कॉरिडोर के नाम से कुख्यात थे वह अब ग्रोथ कॉरिडोर में बदल रहे हैं। सरकार जो इतने परिवर्तन कर पाई है उसमें बहुत बड़ा योगदान हमारे पुलिस बलों का और हमारे सुरक्षा बलों का है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared a heartfelt message on X for Police Commemoration Day, saluting the courage and supreme sacrifices of Indian police personnel. Prime Minister Modi wrote on X, and I quote him, "On Police Commemoration Day, we salute the courage of our police personnel and recall the supreme sacrifice by them in line of duty. Their steadfast dedication keeps our nation and people safe. Their bravery and commitment in times of crisis and in moments of need are appreciable." On Police Commemoration Day, chief ministers across the nation paid tribute to the martyrs, honouring their sacrifice and service. In Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath paid tribute and recalled the Grand Prayagraj Mahakumbh 2025, where the Uttar Pradesh police and other security forces demonstrated exceptional dedication and discipline, setting high standards for security and public order. In northern India, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami paid tribute to the martyrs, acknowledging their courage and commitment. In southern India, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah paid homage to police martyrs during a commemorative program held at the City Armed Reserve grounds on the Bengaluru-Mysuru road. In Surat, Gujarat, Deputy Chief Minister Harsh Sanghvi remembered the brave hearts on Police Commemoration Day. He emphasized that the role of police personnel in maintaining peace and security across the state is more vital than ever. Indian stock markets will open for a special one-hour Muhurat trading session today from 1:45 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. this afternoon. Now, this annual Diwali tradition is considered an auspicious time for investors to make fresh trades believed to bring prosperity in the year ahead. Markets will remain closed on Wednesday, October 22nd, and normal trading will resume on Thursday. Market experts are hopeful for better earnings growth and supportive policies this year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi penned down a letter on Diwali. In his letter, Prime Minister Modi extended heartfelt greetings to all, marking the second Deepavali after the grand construction of the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Prime Minister Modi affirmed Operation Sindoor as a recent example of upholding justice, adding that the festival is particularly special this year as lamps will be lit in many districts, including remote areas where Naxalism and Maoist terrorism have been eradicated. He praised citizens who have abandoned violence and embraced development, viewing it as a major achievement for the nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also praised the significant milestone of implementing reduced GST rates. He noted that during the GST Bachat Utsav, that is the savings festival, citizens have collectively saved thousands of crores of rupees. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also lauded the historic achievements of lower GST rates were implemented. During this GST Bachat Utsav, as we told you, citizens made huge savings. He also articulated that in a world going through multiple crises, Bharat has emerged as a symbol of both stability and sensitivity. Prime Minister Modi also lauded the journey of a Viksit and Atmanirbhar Bharat, and he also urged citizens to support and purchase local Swadeshi products, encouraging everyone to embrace the spirit of vocal for local. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also thanked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for his warm Diwali greetings. Prime Minister Modi wished Netanyahu good health and success on his birthday. He also hoped that India-Israel strategic partnership will continue to flourish in the years to come. And now we tell you how embassies celebrated Diwali. The Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in India hosted a vibrant Diwali celebration at its premises in New Delhi, fostering cultural exchange and unity among staff, colleagues and friends. Ambassador Marisa Gerards and team members participated in traditional rituals, including lighting diyas and performing aarti with marigold garlands as captured in shared photos.
This is our Diwali party, full of lights, full of colors, people are dancing.
Other embassies in Delhi, including the one of Germany, joined in the annual Diwali observances, highlighting international solidarity. German ambassador to India, Dr. Philipp Ackermann, shared a vibrant video on X showcasing a Diwali celebration at the German embassy. The event featured traditional Indian decorations, dancing and cultural performances, highlighting the festival's theme of light and unity. Ackermann emphasized the importance of cross-cultural exchange, noting how Indian colleagues invited German staff to join the festivities. Meanwhile, Embassy of India in Liberia hosted a grand Diwali celebration at the residence of Ambassador Manoj Behari Verma in Monrovia. The event brought together the Indian community, ambassadors, diplomats, international guests and Liberian friends to honor the Festival of Lights. Ambassador Verma delivered a warm speech, extending Diwali greetings and emphasizing on the festival's symbolism of light overcoming darkness. Singapore High Commission in India shared a captivating video from the Singapore Police Force celebrating Deepavali 2025. The production features officers from various home team agencies, including the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority, Singapore Prison Service, and the Central Narcotics Bureau, performing energetic dances and poses set to the Jana Nayagana theme from actor Thalapathy Vijay's repertoire. The highlight is a special guest appearance by Home Affairs Minister K. Shanmugam, who joins in the festivities with enthusiasm. On the occasion of Diwali, the Swaminarayan Akshardham temple in Robbinsville, New Jersey, lit up the night sky with its iconic fireworks display. The Indian diaspora and the Americans gathered in large numbers to witness the vibrant celebration, marking the festival with devotion and joy. In Dubai, the Burj Khalifa sparkled in the celebration of Diwali, marking the Indian Festival of Lights. The message on the world's tallest building read, the Festival of Lights brings happiness, harmony and prosperity. Happy Diwali to you and yours. While Indians celebrated Diwali in Burj Dubai, families got together and celebrated with bursting crackers. Houses were lit with lights displaying a sentiment of festivity all across. US President Donald Trump has warned that Hamas would be eradicated if it breaches the Gaza deal with Israel. Trump's comments came as Vice President J.D. Vance headed to Israel to join two senior US envoys who traveled there after weekend violence threatened to break the agreement. Trump criticized Hamas for recent actions in Gaza, including alleged public executions of rivals and collaborators, and for what he described as violent behavior during the fragile transitional period. President Trump said that he wanted to see the truce to be given some time to hold, but signaled that the United States and allies were ready to act if Hamas violated the deal.
You know, we have 59 countries that agreed to the deal. We have a peace in the Middle East for the first time ever. We made a deal with Hamas that, you know, they're going to be very good, they're going to behave, they're going to be nice, and if they're not, we're going to go and we're going to eradicate them if we have to. They'll be eradicated. And they know that.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he will discuss regional challenges and global opportunities with US Vice President J.D. Vance. Addressing Israel's parliament, the Knesset in Jerusalem, Netanyahu has expressed his intention to collaborate with President Trump on advancing peace agreements in the region. He also mentioned the 16 slain hostages in Hamas captivity, calling for the urgent need to bring all remaining captives back home.
We will discuss two issues, mainly two issues, about the security challenges we are facing and about the political opportunities we are facing. We will overcome the challenges and will realize the opportunities. 16 slain hostages remain in Gaza, of which 2 are foreign citizens from Thailand and Tanzania, and 14 Israeli citizens.
A convoy carrying a body handed over by Hamas in Gaza said to be of a deceased hostage arrived at Israel's National Center of Forensic Medicine in Tel Aviv on Monday night. The remains of the hostages sent to the National Institute for Forensic Medicine, where identification procedure will be carried out under a US-mediated agreement to end the war in Gaza and release the hostages. Hamas released 20 living hostages and was to release 48 slain hostages, but as of Monday night, it has only handed over 14 bodies. One of them was not of a hostage. In exchange for the hostages, Israel released nearly 2,000 convicted Palestinian prisoners and detainees, among other steps under the deal. And now let's turn focus to sports updates. In tennis, defending champions Italy have confirmed that their star player and world number 2, Jannik Sinner, has decided to not take part in this year's Davis Cup finals. Sinner, who had led Italy to a successful title defense last year, has opted out from this year's Final 8 stage. He revealed that his decision not to partake in the Davis Cup was due to the busy tennis calendar. Several players like Sinner have voiced concerns about a demanding tennis calendar in recent weeks. Sinner added that he needs extra preparation time for the start of the next season, hinting at the Australian Open in January next year. He will also be in Turin a week before the Davis Cup to defend his ATP Finals title. India's second-ranked tennis player, Shrivali Bhami Dipati has received a main draw wildcard for the WTA 250 event, Chennai Open, after the withdrawal of French Open semi-finalist Lois Boisin. Boisin was one of the 4 main draw wildcards announced last week. However, she pulled out of the event due to an injury. Shivali was one of the stars of India's successful Billie Jean King Cup Asia Oceania Group 1 campaign in Pune in April. The 23-year-old had won all the 5 singles matches she played and helped India qualify for the playoffs only for the second time in history. The Chennai Open begins on October 27th. Riyadh season 2025 fills the sky with colourful balloon parade and street performances as Saudi Arabia launched the latest edition of its annual entertainment festival. Take a look. With that, we end this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. Now, this app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.
Welcome to DD